This is ContactTalkRadio.com. Consciousness in action. And you are taking action into your consciousness by tuning into Contact Talk Radio.
And on TuneIn.com, Ping.fm, and UpSnap Mobile.
Contact Talk Radio.
Welcome to Spiritual Psychic with Sarah Wiseman, where you'll learn how to unlock the secrets of spiritual intuition and your own psychic gifts. Here's Sarah.
Hey everybody, it's me, Sarah Wiseman. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the 33 lessons and what that is. A lot of you guys have heard me talk about the 33 lessons and sort of point to it as the cornerstone or the key or the beginning piece of all the spiritual teaching that I've received over the years in channeling. And it's sort of an interesting thing that happened, and the result is incredibly interesting also. So keeping the story very short, quite some time ago, back in 2000, I had a near-death experience that resulted in spiritual and psychic awakening. And this resulted, a lot of people have near-death experiences and go into the light and their life is perfect and lovely and great. So that was not my situation. In my situation, I opened up and then really my life did not work anymore. I did not fit into the life that I had been living previously. So fast forward to through four very difficult years, sort of dark night of the soul years, which I know a lot of you guys have been through. And 2004, I was really deep into a lot of spiritual practices like meditation and maybe ecstatic dance and so forth, but I really didn't know anything about the psychic world. I just hadn't really come across it, as surprising as that may seem. I mean, definitely there were lots of resources available. It just it wasn't coming into my experience. And so one day I was sitting in the house that I had just moved into, surrounded by boxes, and a spirit guide walked through, as an apparition, walked through the door. And this was my first experience with spirit guides. So this happened multiple times, and each time I would grab my laptop, we actually had laptops back then, and I would type down what the guide was saying. And excuse me, I want to say this happened in 2000. This happened in 2004. I'm not going to go back and re-record this. It's been a long time. We're at time of recording, we're now at 2021, and a lot of experience have happened since then. This happened in 2004. This spirit guide came in, and that was my first taste of what channeling and writing was. But at the time I was very unsure and kind of put it off. I don't want this. I don't want to do this. And then a couple of years later, I'm not even sure I remember fully how it all happened, but I began to receive from a different guide, I began to receive spiritual teachings in writing. And this wasn't just like earlier, it had been like a little paragraph of thought or some vague ideas. This was big chunks of writing coming through where I'd have to sit there for an hour or 2 hours and just receive. And it was quite insistent, so that every day I was sort of called to sit down and receive this writing. I had never had an experience like this before. I actually didn't know what was going on. I just knew that when I felt this feeling, I was meant to go sit down, close my eyes, laptop ready, and just receive what was coming in. So 33 Lessons was my first experience of channeling spiritual teachings in writing. And at the time of channeling them back then, I really didn't understand what I was receiving. I was receiving the words and I understood what the words were, but I really did not know how to put together the meaning. And it's only after now, many years later, and also many sequential other channeling in writing of large texts, such as so the first was the 33 Lessons. Then I channeled 4 Passages of the Heart. Then I channeled Messages from the Divine, and then the Aquarian messages. So there's been a lot of new material coming in, all building consecutively on the next with these spiritual teachings that help to awaken us. It's been profound. When I read them now, I have a hard time understanding that I received them. And when I read them now, after, as some of you also have done, working with this material for so long, it's like the meaning has become embedded or downloaded into me. So I'm going to just read you the titles of the 33 lessons provided by the guides. And then if you're interested in going further, you can certainly do the course. Everything is recorded, and then there's places for you to journal your response. That is how the lessons are meant to be used, as a reflection and then an exploration by you in meditation or writing. So let's just go and see what they cover. So lesson 1, the purpose of life is soul growth. This is the framework of the entire 33 lessons. Lesson 2, consider your position. They ask to look at where you are now. Lesson 3, a new literacy of the soul. Ask you to learn how to speak the language of the universe. Lesson 4, what is your unique soul? Lesson 5, what is dark requires clearing. Lesson 6, disconnection and connection. Where are you? Lesson 7, on distraction. As important back then as it is now, in fact, more so even now. Lesson 8, the state of dis-ease, the state of dis-ease in the body, dis-ease in the mind. Lesson 9, purity of the body, the call to be substance-free in all the ways that this can happen. Lesson 10, writing as prayer. Lesson 11, the answering of prayers. Lesson 12, opening of windows, in which they explain how to open to the other realms. Lesson 13, chaos and peace. Lesson 14, your need to listen. Lesson 15, your heart is what holds you on earth. Lesson 16, manifesting from the heart. And here are the beginning teachings about manifesting a new way, different than law of attraction. Lesson 17, your earth heart is your greatest tool. Lesson 18, your heart is a vessel for compassion. Lesson 19, on releasing anger. Lesson 20, everything is contained in spirit. Lesson 21, time has no meaning in spirit. Lesson 22, communicating without electronica. Again, this was a little bit before we knew how electronica was going to be taking over. They were teaching on this already. Lesson 23, suffering and bliss are the same. Interesting idea. Lesson 24, karmic destiny with others. And they begin to teach about karma as soul lessons learned over time. Lesson 25, fame, fortune, power, and possessions. Lesson 26, slavery to time is not required by you. Lesson 27, you are what you do. Lesson 28, the true hero quests within. Lesson 29, rest in this magnificence. Lesson 30, turning compassion into love. Lesson 31, the heart is meant to transform pain into love. Lesson 32, transcend bliss to grace. And here we're moving into really teachings really about enlightenment and soul expansion at the highest level. And lesson 33, your heart can hold everything. It's my great honor and just joy to bring these spiritual teachings out into the open, into the world. And if you are really interested in exploring, this is a fantastic place to start with the 33 lessons. You will find them. They are also in the book, Writing the Divine, which is on Amazon. And then you'll also find the course on my website, sarahwiseman.com. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and I will be back next time.